Should work now, shouldn't it?
Should do. Obviously, you'll have to wait till some people get in the checks. You can take a piece of paper off for you.
I'll do it now.
Okey-dokey. Good luck.
Thanks, Ed. Right, I can see two people in. Can you hear me? I'm moving. Look, I'm moving. And look at that. We got the same three in first this time as last time, only in a different order. Because Rachel's at the top now, Lexi second, and Bonnie Tyler Fanyo third. So is the volume working on there? If you could let me know, folks, that'd be great. It seems there was a snag on OBS. It had just frozen up, and the only thing to do was shut it down. Well done, Anne. You found me. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh, Sharon's back as well. That's great. Somebody let me know if we've got volume out there as well as picture, and then we can get started. We'll give everybody a minute or two to come over. Sound is good. Oh, thank you very much. That's great. That's great. As I say, people are coming over slowly. Sorry about that, folks. It was either abandon the broadcast completely, or Techsport Tim said the only other thing we could do is have a part 2, which meant we had to shut OBS totally down and restart. It's a glitch in OBS. It just froze. And fortunately, we still had the live chat, so I could communicate with you and let you know what was happening. But as you know, technical side of this, not my thing. No, I'm more shed man than I am a PC man. But when we left, there we go. Sound and pics, good. Oh, well done, Ed. Ed's post. Thank you, Ed. You've posted a link over in the other one to come across, so hopefully people will join us. Now, I don't know where we got to over there, but I was opening the box and showing you the items. I think you probably, did you all see the large and small green bottle? Did we get that far on, or did it freeze? Because I'm not looking down there, you see. I'm looking over here, because Caroline's told me I must look at the camera. Then I don't see when it's frozen, but I think we did this. So I think you saw the big bottle and the little bottle, hopefully. No, he wouldn't dare charge me a call out, otherwise I will put up his rent. No, he's as good as gold. Fair play. It's always a worry when he's not here. But he was here tonight, and I did warn him. I said, Dad's on his own on the live show. I might need you. Yeah, I think you're right, Ed. They have had a few issues. To be honest, hasn't everybody? This wonderful world of tech that I thought was so confusing, it seems that it's proving to be a bit confusing for everybody, from Marks and Spencer's to Amazon. They're all having their problems. But there we go. As I was saying, we don't find things like this on the dump, because that, to be honest, that is as clear and sharp a piece of glass as you would find in a shop in the Murano, except for the telltale signs of the tiny little dots that let us know that is an old piece, but is still in excellent condition. Hopefully in here with the light you could pick up on all the facets around it. This is I believe an eye bath, you know, the old eye bath jobby. Stick it on your eye so that you can bath your eye. Not that I would fancy doing that, because I don't like things in my eye. But if you've got something in your eye, you can wash out. But can you see the... Why? Why take the trouble to put it on such a beautiful stem? Why take the trouble to make... See how intricate the pattern is in there? I can show you much better here in the light of the studio than I could down the shed. And see it on the sides there? And that would sit gorgeous as just an ornamental piece of glass on the side. But of course, it had a practical purpose. And Dorothy sent us that as part of her collection from that little store. Well, it wasn't such a little store, it was a large store that they used to have. Then, where did I put my box? There we go. There was another piece of glass, wasn't there? Another piece of green in here, and we're on the green theme at the moment. And this one is a completely different shade again, but same goes for it. Look at that, a little beaker. And can you see all the bubbles? Now they're picking up so much better here. I'm so glad we've got the live show to show this, because you can see the imperfections in the glass that so set its time and age. But again, this little beaker, see how beautiful the base has been done, and just rounding off each of these facets as they come down. And it's hard to describe just how pronounced those are, but can you see it there? They're almost bulbous. See that? So, people 100 years and more ago took time to make things nice. Today we mass produce stuff because we're going to throw it away. I think that's the secret. Everything today almost feels disposable. You know, chances are if you had an eye bath today, it would be made of plastic and it'd be in the bin after you used it. This was an era when things were made to last. And I know I bang on about stuff, but at the end of the day, if we want to truly make a better world when it comes to waste and when it comes to overwhelming our planet with rubbish, then I don't think we need to advance. I think we need to look to the past. I think we need to learn lessons from our great-grandparents when it came to making things that people want to keep. I always remember when I started out in the job I do now 11 years ago, I printed my business cards and I had them done, and I had them done beautifully, and I had a lovely sheen to them. And the reason I did that was because I decided I wanted to make a card that people would find hard to throw away. So if I put effort into it and if I made it beautiful, it was something people would pop in the back of their wallet or just slip away in a drawer and keep it. Because then in the years to come, when they need my services, they can get the card. And I know it works, because I went to one family and they said, to our amazement, Granny always said she wanted you, and when we looked in her purse, there was your card. She'd had it in there for over 4 years. So, you know, making something nice means that people will keep it, reuse it, rather than throw it and buy another one. That's just me. That's how I feel. Anyway, what we need now is to get question number 2, because with all the interruption and everything else, we're on question number 2 and we're 3/4 of the way through the show. So get ready for an awful lot of questions in a row. Here we go. Where is my little question man? This is him, the Dancing Knight. There you go. So it's question number 2, folks. We're still with Murano glass, which, as I said, has been around for centuries and can reach some very high prices, as we learned from question 1. The most expensive piece to date was called the Sentinel of Venice. It's just under 2 foot tall, and it's sold in 2018 at auction for $737,000. Now that's a lot of money for a piece of glass about that high. You know, we're talking just under 2 foot, 22 inches. And basically, it's just a blob of glass. It's hollow, and it's flat on the bottom, and it stands about that high, and it's just rounded at the top, and it just goes down like that. And it's all different colours. But the guy who made it is obviously popular, and it reached that incredible price. When? That's the question I'm going to ask you. When was the Sentinel of Venice created? Was it A, 1762, B, 1862, or C, 1962? Go. Okay, what are you thinking, folks? What are you thinking? Do you think the Sentinel of Venice, which is just under 2 foot tall, was one of a set of 3? The one is missing. Another is already in a collection. This one went up for sale and reached $737,000 in 2018. When do you think it was actually made? Was it made in 1762, 1862, or 1962? Right, here come the answers. How are we doing here? Ooh, yes. Oh, we got all the answers again. Always a good sign. Always a good sign. Anybody else coming in with a guess? Otherwise, I'll run back up to the top and have a look and see where we're at. Well, I can tell you that the correct answer is showing, and we've got enough correct answers to fill all the podiums on this occasion. So I'm sorry if you haven't got it right, Anne. You won't be able to sneak in under the radar this time. Okay, well, I can tell you, when I was doing these earlier today, Caroline got this one right. She'd want me to tell you that. It was 1962. Yeah, they've been making stuff for hundreds of years, but this particular artist working in 1962 is very popular, very collectible, reached $737,000 just 7 years ago at auction. So we're looking for C. And the very first answer in from our great friend and wonderful supporter of the channel, Mike Sage. You've got a gold, Mike. There we go. It's lovely to see you with us. I trust you and Lisa are doing well. Okay, so we've got our first place with Mike, and then the lady who's trying to hide her identity by changing her name on you, our Rachel, Furness Bourne. Our Rachel, you got C, so you take silver on this occasion. And then I know there's another one, and guess who it is? Lexi's Larks and Crafts. There we go, Lexi. So it's a row of familiar faces. Mike, Rachel, Lexi, you've got the podium places. Okie doke. Right, let me show you some blue glass. Now, everybody will know the most popular bit of blue glass that gets picked up on the dumps is milk of magnesia. Oh yes, they do like their milk of magnesia, and it comes in all shapes and sizes. Well, it doesn't actually. It comes in one shape but various sizes, because there we go. But they did go with the blue bottle, which I think has made them rather distinct. There we go. And here's a lovely bottle. Look at this. This is probably our best, say, not to be taken, probably our best example of blue glass that we have in our collection. And that is you can see the ridges there, look, so that you could pick it up and immediately know, don't drink this stuff, it's poison. There we go. So that's another beautiful piece of blue glass. And sometimes we pick it up because it's pretty, even though it's broken. Because I did that piece of craft making the candle, and one day I hope to use this in something, because you see, that's a beautiful piece of blue glass off what Caroline often refers to as an epergne. Is it epergne? Is that right? But of course, it's seen better days because that end's gone. But I'm sure at some point I'm going to find a way to use that. I'll make something and that can be set into it, and once again it may hold a little flower. So there we go. That is also blue glass. But when it comes to blue glass, then this piece of glass, which has got, it's almost a turquoise blue. There's as the light reflects on it, especially here, you can see the shades of blue and green as aqua as you turn it. But as you look through it from where I am, looking towards the light, looking through the base, there's a definite blue light comes through. But this is an absolute, again, folks, this is nuts. It looks like it came out of a shop yesterday. Yet we know that it came out of a shop and was placed there a long time ago. But a brand new old piece of glass, and a gorgeous piece. There, I'm so glad this light is helping to show these to their betterment tonight, because of the way the light is catching it. Because in the shed, we were relying on the light through the window, because I have no electric lighting in my shed at the moment. I intend to do it, but I haven't yet. But that is an absolute beaut. Yeah, like I said, love that one. Don't know what before. Somebody thought it might have been for a giant cyclops and it'd be an eye bath. But it's definitely, I feel it was meant in order to, you know, like those, you get the, is it the quesh they call it up in Scotland? It almost feels like you should be drinking from it because it feels like you put something in there and see the tipping action on this is beautiful. You hold it in your hand and it is absolutely amazing just how beautifully it just tips. And you could easily put stuff in there and pour it out because although this is all stepped on the outside beautifully, on the inside that's perfectly smooth. That's a perfectly smooth bowl on the inside. It has not stepped the glass at all. So if you had something in there, you could easily pour it. So what was it for? Who knows? Did it have a medical reference? Or are we just thinking that because of this? Don't know. But as I say, I love it because it's just got that lovely texture and style. And these, along with everything else, because I showed you the buttons and things, I'll just show you this piece again so that you can see it in the light here. Isn't that gorgeous? See if you can get up close on that pattern there. There you go. Anyone any suggestions on this? I thought it could be a letter opener and that this side a page turner. That was my thinking, but that's because I like books and stationery, so that would make me think that way. If anybody has any other ideas from their knowledge, because it's beautiful, it's almost like a spearhead. It's beautifully tapered on the front there, just shallow tapering. But that was another part of the beautiful gift, as well as buttons and coins and other things. But let me ask you a question now. Let me ask you a question, and I'm going to ask you a question about blue glass. All right? Okay, a blue glass question. The original Bristol blue glass was a popular product throughout the 18th century, and it continued to be produced right up until 1923, when sadly, due to the recession and the economic problems of the time, they closed, and it was thought that the craft of creating blue glass had been lost. But the tradition was revived when the company Bristol Blue Glass Limited was founded again. In which year did they found the Bristol Blue Glass Limited? Was it A, 1958, B, 1988, C, 2008, 18? Sorry. So is it 1958, 1988, or 2018? Which do you think? Go. All right, so some clever person managed to get the technology back, get the skills there, get the people together, and reopen the factory that had shut in 1923, or at least reopen their version of the factory and incorporated a company, Bristol Blue Glass Limited. But when do you think that was? Shut in 1923. Do you think they reopened it in 1958? That would be A. 1988, that would be B. Or 2018, that would be C. Let's have a look. Oh, right. Right, we have got some answers, and we've got all the answers, and we've got enough answers. I think we have. Yes, indeed. Okay, folks, let's have a look. The correct answer, in fact, the very first answer in was correct, because the correct answer is 1988, which is B. 1988, which is B. So we got another gold podium for Mike. Whoa, Mike, you are on fire. Immediately followed by Sharon Paget. Sharon, you were so close There was virtually nothing in it, but Mike's on the top of the list here. You're second, so that's gold to Mike. That's silver to Sharon, and we're going down to Bonnie Tyler, fan 34, to award the third bronze position. So there we go. Yeah, 1988, they reopened Bristol Blue, and blue glass was being produced in Bristol yet again. I say, as well as the coloured glass, we get some lovely pieces of glass. Do you remember this? What we believe is a little Christmas light that we found on that huge rubbish dump. We found some awesome stuff on that rubbish dump, but that little gem, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a little piece of blown glass, and it would have had a little, you could almost, I can see from my side, if I turn it, the element in the top there, where there was, this was a bulb to go on a Christmas decoration. Then something similar looking is this stopper to go into a bottle, but if you look there, and this is a mystery, there's no way to get that water out. You see the water in there? That water seeped in and it ain't seeping out. It seems to be solid all over. There's no leaks, but at some point that water has seeped into there and it is staying there. But that was another beautiful piece of glass. Sticking on the clear glass, we've got some, we spoke about little bottles and big bottles. Look at this one. Look at that for a little bottle. Isn't that about? Tiny little thing. There you go. And of course, something that mixes the thing up when it comes to colours and bottles, a joy to always find when you're on any kind of lark searching, and that's marbles. There we go, there's a couple of marbles there. But I tell you what we haven't had tonight, and I think we should. I think with all that's going on in the world and all the sadness that we are surrounded by on occasions, it'd be nice to have some happy news. There we go. Nearly didn't come back, eh? Nearly lost me for good. Right. Late starter is breaking world records at 80. With every step towards the finish line, Natalie Grabo was proving it's never too late to get started. Earlier this month, the 80-year-old grandmother from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, became the oldest woman to ever finish the punishing Ironman World Championship triathlon in Hawaii. She swam 2.4 miles, even though she never learned to swim until she was almost 60. Then she pedalled 112 miles on a bicycle and immediately ran a full 26.2-mile marathon to make history. Natalie's story is even more impressive considering when she started, because she grew up in New Jersey long before there were competitive opportunities for female athletes such as exist today. A part of her that always existed lay dormant, just waiting for a chance. As Natalie put it, when you grow up and you don't have those options, you know you just watch the boys doing stuff and you're just to be the cheerleader. It was just thrilling once I could do my first 5K and race and ride a bike with other people. And she's searching now for her next challenge, having already signed up for a pair of Ironman races in 2026 and is hoping that she will be still competing at the right age to steal the world title for the oldest ever person to complete the Ironman trophy. In all that she's done, this lady has proved it doesn't matter where you start or when you start. It's about enjoying the journey and finding your way to the finish line. Isn't that lovely? What a wonderful tale there. Well, we haven't managed to do everything tonight because of the interlude, and I do want to finish it near the time as possible. As I say, Caroline's show will be coming on now at 10 o'clock. So if you've missed Caroline's voice and you'd like to hear from her, you go over and watch her show because that'll be starting in a minute. But of course, we've got to end with that final question. According to my reckoning, how many times did Mankey appear? And just to give you a clue, his appearance in the shed during the commentary only counts as one because he never moved from the same spot. How many times did he appear in this week's video? Was it A, 5, B, 7, or C, 9? Go. Let's have a look what you think, folks. How many times? How many times do you think he appeared? Do you think it was 5, 7, or 9? If you want to put A, B, C, A is 5, B is 7, C is 9. How many times did you see Mankey this week appearing in our video? Oh, lots of people going. So, all right. Any more? Oh, anybody more? Right then. Right. Lots of guesses, and we've got A, B's, and C's. But I can tell you now that Mankey appeared at 07 on the shelf in the shed and stayed there throughout. But then at 7, 12, 8:44, 11:08, and 20:57, he was in my pocket in various times and places. At 22:17, he was in my bag on the beach. 27:13, he was back in my pocket. And at 27:58 and 29:22, he appeared in cut pieces from the shed where he was on different shelves. That makes 9. That makes 9. There we go. Oh, there we go. Caroline's video here. Thank you, Ed, for putting that up. That's excellent. But before we go, I have to check who got the 9s. Lexi, you got 9. Anne Goodwin, you got C. And the lady hiding her identity, Furnace Bone Rachel, you got C as well. So that gives us the gold for Lexi, silver for Anne. Rachel, you take the bronze. There on the bottom, you've got the link if anyone wants to go over to Caroline's video, which should be starting just about now. In fact, 3 minutes ago. So I better say bye. Don't forget, I'll be here at the end of the month. There'll be a video. There'll be a live show. Till then, take care, be kind, and have fun. Bye.